to draw a head, I generally just I take this, for example, this pic of a skull or any kind of skull, really. If you want a skull, if you want a skull, if you want a skull, just kill a person. No, if you want a head that is looking sideways, for example, sideways, you'll search for a skull that is looking sideways. For example, I don't know, this one, or specifically a skull. I want a skull. Okay, let's just use this one. Okay, and I want to make a head that is looking kind of like that. So what I would do is I would first copy this skull as best as I can do while looking at the phone camera thingy. Okay, here we go. As best as you can do it. First off, I always do this kind of like outline. And then what I would do to make a full head is I would also copy the thingies, the eye sockets, for example. Nose. And you can see this, there's this thingy. I don't know where, I don't know a lot of about anatomy. I know the placement of the things, but I don't know the names. So you gotta have patience with me. And also, I also do this part. I always like to highlight this, like this little, I like to call them blush areas, little blush areas. But basically I from this I take it, and from there I will have the teeth. And why do I think this is important? Well, if you can construct the face not from this, although it is good to take this and to do the little cross section, but you don't get to understand a lot from this. Let's say you do this, that, and then you have a face. Awesome, you have a face. That's amazing. But I do really like to understand the structure of the face while I'm making it. Does that make any sense? I think so. But yeah, I like to think about the structure, and here I forgot about this bony thing on the nose. I would also get like a skull, a 3D skull thingy, so that okay, this looks like crap. I'm sorry, but basically, what you need to do is to understand just the structure, just a little structure, and then you can sort of construct from there. For example, this part is connected to the eye socket. Well, connected. It's sort of there. And this is the temples also make part of the side of the skull. Okay, so for now on, from this point on, we can construct Oh, sorry. I keep doing this thingy where I try to correct because I'm very perfectionistic and I don't know what to do with that. But there. Okay, maybe a little fix up. Just a little. I know it looks like crap. Don't tell me. It's just to understand, okay? It's just to understand. You can do your own version and you can tell me, oh, Pa, you did it wrong. I don't care. So now, what I generally do is I color it red. I lower the opacity a little bit. And then I'm gonna take, for example, I don't know, maybe Marsil. Yeah, why not? Marsil. I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna draw her from this point of view, would be from up to down. So maybe she's like seeing us very pitifully. You can also adjust the skull so that it does things that you like, more exaggerated. So I'm gonna take this. From this point, you can see that I think it's called the brow bone. I think I'm gonna start with the nose. But the whole point of it is to guide you furthermore than the circle and the cross. Obviously, it's not gonna come out perfect. Sometimes the skull doesn't come out the way you want it to. For example, this part, it's a little bit low, so I'm just gonna heighten it so that the teeth are a little bit more high, sorry. The teeth are high. And so that her smile is a little bit more normal, you know? Because if you have low teeth, your smile is a little bit off center. Actually, I want her frowning. Sorry, more. See, you can make anime girls with a skull. Can you believe that? I know it's like an overused motivation or motive to like, oh, you gotta learn anatomy to make anime girls, but it's true. It's true. Can see her eyes. Okay, here we go. Air conditioning. All right, she doesn't have human ears. She has elf ears. I don't know if you can see clearly this. Oh, shoot. Okay, here we go. But yeah, that's the tutorial. I believe it is. You can see the skull here. I put it on low opacity. Now you can see it on high opacity. And it looks way better than I expected, than how I would do it with the circle and the cross. Normally when I do stuff with the circle and the cross, it's for, you know, quick sketches and stuff like that. But obviously you can achieve a much better result when using much more human-esque, I don't know how to explain it, less anime features. Like, you know, for example, you can, her nose, you can make it a little bit more detailed, depending on the type of nose you want for her, of course, or for them. Like this. Obviously, realistic noses are never ugly. They can never be ugly unless you want to make them, you know, specifically to be ugly. But noses can be really pretty if you just different type of noses. If you use different type of noses and if you integrate them well into the drawing. Now I am doing more realistic features on her because I don't know, I feel like that's my style. But oh, just for funsies. And her head would be a little bit. Okay, there we go. So my words. Okay. This is a realistic or kind of realistic thingy, but adjusting the size of the skull can really help you a lot. For example, we've done the skull a little bit bigger than a normal skull. This part has been is being bigger. That's for like anime sort of heads. This part, the cranium of the cranium, sorry, can be done in a much bigger thing depending on the size of the lower part. If the lower part is smaller as well, like this thing is bigger and the lower part is lower, is is smaller, sorry, it's gonna be very anime-esque. But if, for example, this part is bigger and this part is also bigger, it's gonna be a little bit, just a little bit more realistic. Just a little, not too much. Because remember, I am not an expert. But yeah, that's the whole thing. I just wanted to share my my tips and my tricks on how to, make a head. Remember to follow me, subscribe, and all of that jazz. I'm Paju. PLLU. Bye bye.